People Like You. Season 2 is kicking off after a long hiatus. My name is Emmanuel Osasir, your online personal trainer and wellness coach. And today I am met with a very special guest to kick off season 2. His name is Mykal, my former barber, Mykal. Go ahead and introduce yourself, Mykal. Say what's up.
What's up, y'all? My name is Mykal Lenoa. Middle name's Dominic. Yeah, man. I live in Bakersfield. I own a barbershop downtown Bakersfield called the Bakersfield Barbers. I Fitness is a mandatory thing in my life that I enjoy and I love. Besides that, I mean, for sure, faith and seeking the Lord and pursuing righteousness and um, raising a 12-year-old son that I got, and just trying to, I think, just one step at a time, just better my life with
Yeah.
wisdom and things you can learn throughout your journey while you're alive.
Bet. And one of the things that I know you about, Mykal, is with the jujitsu, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, martial arts, and go ahead and talk about
Yeah,
how you kind of got into that. I guess that would be a nice
I
little.
bro, I didn't want nobody to know, just in case I gotta put somebody in a hole real quick. Because if I don't state publicly that I know how to do it, I can save myself in some
Man, that's
situations.
how I feel too. So I kind of put you on blast. Now everybody knows how you
Nah.
actually tried to get me in a couple of chokeholds yourself.
Hey, bro,
But, you know, the
I was just,
biceps weren't really having that. So
I was just trying to show you, bro, that, you could be buff and still get stuffed. Come on.
that's true. That's true. That's true.
Nah.
How'd you get into it, and how did it start for you?
Oh, man. So, you know what? Jiu-jitsu, I've been doing it for like 5 years now. I train with Matt Baker down at the Bakersfield Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I think we recently, excuse me, we recently renamed the gym to the Jiu-Jitsu headquarters with Matt Baker.
Okay.
Um, so he's a Jean-Jacques Majado black belt from the Gracie families, or like cousins or whatever.
Right. Right.
So so the lineage is there. It's adult. But so the way I got into it, to be honest, um, I was going through some struggles in my life, man. I went to jail. Uh, I was going through some craziness in my life, and I really felt like, I think it was Charlie Garcia from Valley Bible. He
Right.
had mentioned it to me one time, and I thought, like, if you read in your Bible, it says like Jesus was meek. Well, meek means like power under control.
Right.
And for whatever reason, I just felt like God told me, you need to go to jiu-jitsu. You need to put yourself in these tough positions to humble yourself, because at the time I thought I was the baddest dude on the planet. And then my first day to class, I show up, I start training, and this 135 pounder chokes me out within like a minute and a half, within us wrestling or rolling.
Humbling.
And it humbled me, but also got me angry. So I gave it a couple more goes, and he just choked me out like two more times, and I'm like, what is going on right now? So yeah, man, the way that I got into jiu-jitsu is because I felt like God told me I needed to humble myself, and I was going through a real tough time in life. And actually, my coach Matt Baker, the way that I got to know him is I was telling him my story. I was like, man, I just went to jail, blah 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 blah, and I went to like a couple different schools around town here in Bakersfield, and I felt like Matt was the one that I was supposed to be with, because he had talked to me about some of his struggles at the time, what he had gone through, growing up, being in relationships, kind of having control issues, and not having a dad, and like all that stuff affects you. Trust me, because
Yeah.
I've been through all that, where it's like
Right.
you're acting like either how you were raised or how you weren't raised, and then God comes in there and he's like, let me retrain you. And for me, it was like a retraining of my brain and my mind, my spirit, my physical body, So that's how I got into it, man. Just a humbling that needed to happen in my life. And then I've continued it because I just fell in love with it. I fell in love with the humility of it, and actually the gentleness of it, and the power of being under control, under God's control, under the meekness of, you can be powerful, but you can still be meek and you can have that power under control. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, for sure, man. You said a lot to unpack there. You know Chris, right? Chris Spilla.
Yeah, he don't want it neither. I hope you listen to this.
I hope he
Spilla.
does too. So he came on episode 4. He was my fourth guest, and
Yeah.
he also talked about a lot how jujitsu was something that kind of like changed his life and kind of helped to just shape a lot of areas of his life as a whole too. So kind of to that point as well, like you said, the
Yeah.
the humility of it and stuff. So kind of to segue, what are some other areas that's kind of that jujitsu alone has kind of helped with your regular life or maybe like your fitness routine as well?
Man, you know what? I think like two things, right? It's like if you love doing something, then just do that. Like
Right,
if you're a runner, if you lift weights, if you like swimming, if you like your Zumba class, dance class, like whatever you love doing and it's causing you to sweat, like do it, right?
right, right,
And
right.
then and then to add to that, like the second part of what you were saying is just that, you know, when I got into jujitsu, I was just like, man, I really like this, and it was easy to just like go to class all the time. And I and it was right around, I think I was 26, maybe 27 when I got into it. No, maybe I was a little older than that, but yeah, I had to be like 28, I think, because when I hit 31, all of a sudden, like I couldn't catch up with, like, you could do a workout, burn all your calories, eat whatever you want, and stay in shape. And then I hit 31, and it was like, yo, you can't just like work out and eat whatever you want. It started catching up, catching up with me. You know what I
Right,
mean? Like I
yeah,
was just like,
yeah,
dang, it's hard. It's harder to keep off these pounds or stay in shape.
right.
And all of a sudden, like soreness started coming, and I'm like, man, I hit 31, bro, and I felt like I was 51.
Dang.
And I think it's just really because of my diet and my eating habits. You know, so um the last 3 or 4 years I've been trying to adjust, you know, coming in and out of like being successful, not successful. But at the end of the day, I think it's just your discipline and all that, you know what I mean? And your,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know,
Yeah, no, discipline's a huge part of it. And I'm a big fan of, I preach a lot about consistency as well, too. So kind of like to your point, what you said as far as continue to do whatever you enjoy that caused you to sweat. That kind of goes a long way. So if it's not jujitsu, then walking or running or swimming or whatever it may be, whatever the case may be, and that's how you're able to like sustain longevity as well too. So what are some things that's helped you to kind of stay consistent? What are some things that people can take from you and say, okay, if I try to apply this, this, and that, maybe I can get back and be more consistent with my fitness goals and stuff.
yeah. I think for sure, even though to my own standard, I haven't felt like I've been consistent like I could be or should be or want to be. But I think if you have a desire, like David Goggin always talks about, like, you know, going past your what you think you're capable of.
Yeah,
If you
yeah.
if you have a desire to really change and to challenge yourself, you're gonna figure it out. You're gonna eat healthier. You're gonna show up. And probably the biggest thing is like what I've been learning lately is you got to show up when you don't feel like it. Like
Mm,
yesterday, I was not feeling like going to training. I was sore. I went on a hike the day before, and I was like, man, I got jujitsu today. I got work. I got a full day at work, standing up on my feet all day, and then afterwards, I got to go grab my gear and then drive to class. Like I just wasn't in the mood, but I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna show up because I learned a couple years ago is you got to show up even when you don't feel like it because um you know, David Goggins like the master of this, but you got to push past what you're capable of and what you think you're capable of because there's like I think it's like I forgot what it's called, but it's like a 40 rule or something like that where it's like
yeah,
you have
40%.
40 more percent in you than you think. And I've heard it said like one time I was hiking in the mountains and I somebody gave me this quote, but I was up in the mountains hiking and it was hard. It was like a 6 hour hike up and down, like really, really steep incline. And some old man told me, he goes, your mind will quit before your body will. He said, your body's good. God made your body really well and really good. He said, but your mind will try to quit before your body will. So he said, discipline your mind. And I don't know, for whatever reason, I was hiking and that popped up in my head. And I just started thinking, like, it's just my mind. Like, my mind needs to get stronger. And
Right.
that goes perfectly what David Goggin teaches is like, yo, you got to train your mind, because I can run longer and faster than I did when I was younger. But I don't
Right.
think it has anything to do with my physical capabilities. I think it has everything to do with my mind
Right.
and pushing
Right.
past that
Right.
discomfort. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, no, for sure, man. And that's it's to that point too. It's like sometimes, well, to go a little bit backwards to what you said before, you mentioned the importance of going and working out or exercises when you don't feel like it. I don't know. I read a quote, or I think it had to be a quote for somewhere, where it talked about the moments or the workouts that you don't feel like working are the most important ones, because those tend to be the building blocks to building consistent
Mm,
too. So I try to pay attention to those moments as well too. But like as far as like the mental, as far as like the mental discipline, pushing yourself mentally, like sometimes I'll be like towards the end of my own workouts and I'll be like, all right, well, I don't feel like finishing this. And what I'll do is I'll switch my mind from this is a physical workout to a mental workout. Let's see if I can
yeah.
self mentally. Let's see if I can trick my brain into hitting 10 reps, regardless of how my body feels or how I feel
Yeah.
emotionally or anything like that. And it works too. To your point, it works because our bodies can't move without our minds. So I mean, the research
Yeah.
the research on that is pretty heavy and it's pretty deep. So
Yeah. I was watching Shannon Sharp the other day. He's posting
right,
like these workout videos.
right.
And that, I don't know how old that dude is. He got to be in his 40s, but that
He's
dude looks
actually
like he's,
50.
bro, he is in crazy shape
Incredible shape, dude. He looks like he can play in the NFL today.
now. And that's, you know what? I was thinking, like, man, that guy has the discipline I want, the body I want, maybe even the credit score I want. You know what I'm saying? That dude is killing it.
Word.
But even that, like watching inspiring things, right? Like it says, like there's this old quote. It says, like, watch what you put in your mind, right? It's basically like watch your habits, watch what you
Right.
listen to, watch what you
Right.
see, because you become what you. And the Bible says, like, so man thinketh in his heart, so does he become.
Right.
And then there's a quote. It's the same thing that the world made up, where it was like your habits become your who you are, and who you are whatever that quote is. But man, like I'll try to like watch those kind of videos and like all those kind of pages on my Instagram and YouTube, so that throughout the day, if I end up surfing on something, I'm catching something like that instead
Yeah.
of catching, like, I used to like these fat boy pages on Instagram where it was like these greasy, nasty food places everybody want. You know what I'm saying? And I had to unlike all that stuff, and I'm like,
Right.
man, because you see it and then you just want to do it. And not that I'm there yet with the diet or
Right.
nothing like that,
Right.
but
Right. Right.
I'm trying to get better for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, no, that's solid, man. And to your point too, again, like I think it's so important what we surround ourselves with, whether it's social media or what we're listening to, the people that we hang out. And it goes without saying that, we are who we kick it with. There's that saying that says
Yeah.
sum total of the five closest people in our life sort of thing. And so
Yeah.
for me, there was a period in my life where I would listen on the way to work to like the Eric Thomases of the world, those motivational, there's like tons of
Mm.
on it. Just
Yeah.
type in like motivational videos or something
Yeah.
like that, and they'll come up. That stuff really works, man. It's the mind is a powerful thing, dude. I haven't talked about it enough on this podcast, dude. Just as far as a change of mindset um,
Yeah.
is concerned, it goes a long way. But
Yeah. Heck yeah.
another thing I wanted to touch on with is you're a father and
Yeah.
also a business owner.
Bro.
Congratulations on that, by the way. And so, with that, a lot of people that listen to this show, they also work and they also have kids. So, what are some of the challenges that you have with balancing all those while still having time to take care of yourself?
You know what, man? I think the guilt of maybe being selfish. I think you have to be a little selfish when it comes to, like, staying in shape and eating healthy,
Right.
because You know, I could show up to jujitsu every day of the week. I could, you know, enroll in all the classes, work on my body, and that's all my life will be about, and show that off on Instagram and all that crap. But and that'd be selfish of me. But to be unselfish, you know, with having a kid, you have to make it. You have to have this balance where it's like, I want to work out because I want to be healthy, but I also want to work out to feel good, and I want to give my children time. So the only way to do it, you're basically left with no choices other than to either get your kids involved with it or to separate it. And I think those are the two types of people. They're always working out. They're always like about that, but then they lack in their relationship with their children or their husband or their
Right,
wife or whatever.
right, right.
You have to learn how to blend the two. And I had a friend in jiu-jitsu ask me, because her and her husband were fighting a lot because she was
Mhm.
at class all the time. And I told her, I was like, yo, whatever plant you stop watering is going to die. So if you don't water your marriage, it's going to die. If you don't water jujitsu, then your skills will die, whatever. So the balance is, I told her, I was like, you need to be a gardener. You need to water both of them evenly. You know, come here 2 or 3 days a week and be with your husband 2 or 3 nights a week and just balance the two out. So I used to go to class like 6 days a week, 7 days a week when I first started, and that's okay because you start to build up a passion. But then I cut back, like, you know, a lot because I was like, you know, I need to spend time with my son. But then I started kind of missing the gym, and then I just came to the conclusion I just have to make him a part of it. So yesterday he was with me at jiu-jitsu, and he's loving it too. He's like, man, I want to get better and train, and you just got to, I think, just find balance, man, whatever that looks like.
Yeah.
I as much as people hate on the Kardashians and all that, I see those girls balancing their lives and their workouts, and
Yeah.
and and it's crazy, you know, because as busy as being a owner, a dad, a Christian, a leader, a mentor, like I find myself like being so busy in so many things, but like, am I being effective? So I
Right.
want to be effective in my health. I want to be effective with my son. I want to be effective as a barber, as an owner. I want to be effective as a mentor and a leader, inspiring people to know Jesus and to have a balance in their life. And so I think it's just that, man, just finding the balance and being committed to it. And really, what I've been learning the last 2 years is like, don't be too hard on yourself. You know,
Right.
don't be too strict. Don't be too like, I got to do it like this and this and this, or I got to be like Emmanuel, or I got to be like, you know, this person, or I got to be like
Right.
this person. Like, you got to find your balance and fall in love with it and give yourself a lot of grace and mercy. And that's it, you know?
Come on, man.
Come
I'm
on.
preaching? No, but
Yeah.
that's real stuff, dude. And man, I mean, you just said a whole lot. I try to touch on everything I remember. But as far as like kind of being selfish and stuff, you know, it does feel a little bit selfish too, but at the same time, all the things that you say that you're involved with, your father, your business owner, you're involved in the ministry, you know, your future husband. So all of these things
Come
require
on.
you to take, right? So
I'm out there. I'm here. What's up?
that's right. That's right, ladies. He's on the market for it's a limited time offer. He's on the market, but
Bro, I've been on the market so long, I feel like I'm going on clearance.
oh, see,
You
man,
could
you
get
gotta
me
just let it
right.
go, dude. I tried
Hey,
to plug you in.
you could get me right now for the low. You know what I'm saying?
Don't sell yourself short, man.
No, I'm
Get
just
out of
kidding.
here with that. No, but dude, you're growing, man. And part of that growth process, especially while you're single, is developing these habits that seem selfish, but on the real, it's going to allow you to be that future boyfriend, that future husband, and everything. And so, like, for
Yeah.
the older I get, and I think you're only a couple years older than me, but the older I get, the less working out is important for me as far as looks. Like, I like looking lean and stuff like that, but the older I get, it's important that me and Clarissa are still able to go on hiking trips, or that I'm able to
Mm-hmm.
my kids someday without getting tired. So
Mm-hmm.
good type of selfish that you were talking about, and then also with the balance as well too that you talked about. You know, there's also a tipping point as well too. But
Yeah.
if you have the right mindset though, as far as I'm working out not just for looks, but I'm working out for others, to be able to do things for others, to be able to do other stuff, then I think that
Yeah.
comes with that balance you're talking about.
Yeah, man. To speak, you know, like for sure, like the physical aspect of it, as far as like your physicality and your body, but also, you know, your way you eat. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a big thing because you can't. Like I said, I think we try to, like, if you work out and then it's all of a sudden like, oh, I earned this cheat meal, and it's like, homie, you can't. You might as well call it a cheat week because every day I'm working out hard. Every day I feel like
Yeah.
I can eat ice cream. You know what I mean? I can eat yogurt.
Yeah.
I can eat whatever. So it's like
Right.
flipping those mindsets and segueing into that mindset.
Right.
I would say the Bible says like be transformed by the renewing of your mind, and
Mm-hmm.
it's the same thing, man. Mentally, um, not just with like, you know, like we talked about, like pushing past what you're thinking you're capable of, but I think also mental health is a big thing, right? Because then you go into these avenues where, like, if you're eating the wrong foods or whatever, say you're going through a breakup and then all of a sudden you feel down, and now because you feel down, maybe you feel worthless, or you feel like, um you know, you dig deeper into, man, I feel fat, or I feel ugly, or I feel like whatever. Now you go grab that ice cream, or you go grab that burger, or In and Out. Like, we're constantly people that are eating out of emotions, and we're eating out of, like, either we earned the meal because we worked out, or we're depressed because of whatever situation, and we're eating out of, you know, our circumstances of life, instead of, like, for me, like, I'm learning, and I'm not a master at this at all, but like learning to lean into God's word, learning to run to him when we're
Mm.
going through things, or
Right.
just in general, like if you're not even a believer like that, but you just want to, you know what, instead of like going and eating this crap food because I feel bad, what can I do to get my mental health stronger? Because mental health is a thing that I don't think a lot of people incorporate with, like, with the church, with physical health, with professional sports, with, I mean, there's so many things that mental health is a big thing right now, and it can't be talked about enough.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Your
Right.
mental health will really, it'll decide if you want to get up and work out, or decide if you want to
Yeah.
get up and be a dad, or get up and be go to your work. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of people, I think, that they go to work and they're sad, and they put on this face like it's all good and it's not,
Mm-hmm.
and then they go eat the bad foods, and then it's just this cycle. But if you could come out of that and start to believe in what God says about you in God's word, like, no,
Right.
you know, you're important, you're valuable, um you're not ugly, you're just going through this right now, it's temporary. um I mean, there's so many things. You got to figure out how to get some positive affirmation in your life so that you can
Yeah.
continue the journey and not
Yeah.
sink too deep into some of these thoughts. Because I'll tell you what, man, going through stuff in life has probably kept me down, heavy, depressed, bad eating habits more than anything else in my life. But now that I'm aware of it, the last, you know, 2 or 3 years, it's really helped me not to be like, you know what, I'm gonna go overboard. Like, you know,
Right.
yeah, have a cheat meal, whatever. But if I feel down, sometimes I'll just go work out and then instantly feel better because I got those endorphins going, and I'm challenging my heart and my mind and my spirit, because I'm like, yo, I'm not going to put up with this again. Like, I'm standing on God's word, and I'm just like, no, I'm going to go deal with this problem. That's not who I am, or whatever I'm dealing with, you know? And then it's just like you won that little battle right there. And life is about winning those little battles every day, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, man, dude, man, you hit the nail on the head, bro. And shout out to you for bringing up mental health, man, because it's such a big part of not just fitness, dude, but life, dude. And we talked a lot
Yeah.
today about just rewiring the brain. I think Drake is the only one. I think episode 7 that brought up mental health as well too, man. And he also tied it in with Christ and stuff as well too. Just identity, knowing who you are, knowing that you're loved, and to your point, dude, just not being so hard on yourself, man. That resonates with me.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm so habit based that when I inevitably mess up or miss a day or something like that, then the world's gonna hate
Hmm.
me.
Yeah. Oh,
Yes.
man.
So you got anything else? Because I was gonna say, well, go ahead. Do you have anything else?
Um, you know what, man? I think we all got an opportunity to be healthier, to be mentally stronger, to show love in a greater way. If that's being in a fitness class, or with our friends, like, you know, encouraging one another. I think right now, this is probably your first podcast since the whole craziness has been going on around the
Yeah.
world.
Yeah.
And coming from like, so I have a white mama, I have two black brothers, and then me, I'm like half, half and half and half. I'm like a three-piece, but you know what I'm saying? Um,
You're right.
but on this topic, man, like I think not only mental health, spiritual health,
Yeah. Yeah.
physical health, like it's all gonna matter, because I was sitting back these few weeks listening to all these different things and all the posts and all the people posting on their Instagrams, like, you know, all their what their beliefs are and all that.
Right.
And I
Right.
and I was sitting back like, man, I want to be silent now, but that's because I want to make a change and a difference in my own life. And whatever that looks like, I want to be better. Like for me, the quarantine and what's going on in the world right now has humbled me. It's pointed out some things that are really wrong with me, and what I think about what I think living for the Lord looks like, and being a Christian and being a dad and being a barbershop owner and being a friend and being a stranger and somebody out in the public. Like I'm just overwhelmingly humbled, and I've been humbled during this time because I think the way that I was living my life wasn't the right way. But now, in that humility, I think it's good, because it's like if you get shown that something's not good inside of you, you can change it. That's better than just thinking that you're all right and then you're just continuing to live the life the way you want to live it. And I'm excited to make those changes. I'm
Yeah.
excited to humble myself and be like, man, I want to be better physically. I want to be a dad. I want to be a better human being, a better Christian, a better leader. And with everything going on in the world, I just want to step up to that plate and be more love and be more courageous and calling out things and leading, and not just sitting back and being this like social media generation where we'll record something instead of step
Yeah.
in and help.
Right.
And you know what I mean? Like it starts as simple as like, I seen a guy, this guy, and usually I'll be like, oh, that's that kind of guy. I ain't gonna say nothing to him. But this time it was like, yo, let me say hi to him real quick. So I waved my hand, what's up, bro? And he gave me a smile, waved, and I was like, dang, that little change, that little mind
Yeah.
shift in my heart
Yeah.
is gonna change my lifestyle, and my
Right.
lifestyle hopefully will impact somebody. You know what I mean? Because one day I will die, I will pass, and how I live my life will I'll give an account. So I want to be better, and so I think we can all be better, man, with this whole craziness going on right now. And humble, just humble about everything too. There's some things that I
Yeah.
think that some judgments that I was making, that I'm making those corrections now. I'm like, man, I can't be judging people. It's not a
Yeah.
color thing. It's like a judgment thing. It's like, why you
Right.
judge people like that? So I want to be better,
Yeah.
just be a better human being. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Yeah, dude. And that kind of ties into what I was going to ask as well, too, because I always love for my guests to leave one fitness tip, one piece of advice. It kind of seems like we kind of talked about how fitness can translate into other areas of our life, the bigger picture,
Yeah.
family, impacting the lives of others. So with all that being said, and with all that said, and you said a ton of great stuff, I appreciate it. What's one last thing as far as like your number one fitness tip or piece of advice for our listeners?
You know what, man? Something that I learned in jiu-jitsu, because a roll means like a fight or a match, right? You're rolling around for 6 minutes, 5 to 6 minutes with somebody, and they're trying to submit you. They're trying to, arm bar you, knee bar you, ankle lock you, whatever.
Yeah.
One of the things I learned is that if you tap, of course you won't get like your arm broken or your neck choked or whatever, but in life you're going to take those losses.
Right.
And one of the things I love about jiu-jitsu is like, if you tap, if you get submitted, guess what? You slap hands and you go at it again. And that
Right. Right.
translates into life, where it's like, you're going to take losses. People are going to break up with you. Things aren't going to work out. You're going to go through divorces. Life's not going to be what you want it to be. But if you can get back up, it says the righteous fall 7 times, but they get back up. If you can just keep getting back up, um, it's gonna help you out a lot. Even with physical health, like if you're working out, you missed a day, and now you don't want to work out, just get back up and keep going. And then if you're eating bad, like, dang, I shouldn't have ate that. It's okay, just stop right there. Your next meal should be a healthy meal, and that's it, man. Life's just about getting back
Yeah.
up and keep going. And so if you make a mistake, don't be too hard on yourself,
Yeah.
and keep getting back up. And
Right.
that's translates into everything. Just stop wherever you're at and get back up. Keep
Word,
going.
man. Good message, man. Good message, dude. So I like to end each episode with some fun, random questions. I call it
Uh-oh.
fire. And
Uh-oh.
so, are you ready? I hope
I'm
you're
ready.
got 10 random questions so that we can get to know Mykal a little bit better and how he thinks. What is one thing that Mykal is terrible at?
Oh man. Oh.
First thing that came to your mind, man. Be honest.
Probably humility, because I don't think I'm terrible at anything. Come on.
Man,
You'd
that
have
answer
to
was
ask
perfect, dude.
you'd
That
have to
was
ask my
perfect.
friends, bro, because I
That
don't
was
know what I'm
perfect.
terrible at.
That was perfect. Would you rather have unlimited sushi for life or unlimited tacos?
Oh man.
I know.
The stereotype of me wants to say tacos. But the real chef and connoisseur of good food, I'd have to go with sushi.
Me too. I feel like I get tired of tacos really quick.
Yeah, they're just plain. Like I ain't never met a taco that I was like, I gotta eat that every day.
Yeah, I
Just
just know when a
is
taco's bad. I can't like I've never seen like a taco like I've never put a taco in a hierarchy. I just know when it's
yeah,
trash. Otherwise, it's okay.
yeah.
All right, what's your favorite exercise in the gym?
Ooh,
It's a great
I
question.
you know what, for sure, just anything to do with like physical like movement. You know what I'm saying? Like boxing, jujitsu, kickboxing, anything with physical, old,
Like
like
to hit
ancient,
things.
ancient. Yeah, like yeah. I think just movement like that. Isn't there a thing now like it's like movement training or mobility training, mobility movement, something like that?
Sounds like cardio.
Yeah. Well, they call it cardio, but like there's all these fancy words
Yeah,
like
no, I
this
yeah, I
is
got you though.
this is movement. You know what I'm saying?
I just call it just like combat training, really, because like you said, it comprises of several things. But
Yeah, yoga, kickboxing, boxing, with something like that.
yeah, okay. If you could be any animal in the world, what would it be and why?
Oh man, I think a bear, because they're thick skinned, they're warm, and in their domain, nobody messes with them because they're the top of the food chain. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a good question. I like bears. But bonus question now, because I'm a lion guy. Who would win in a fight with a lion or a bear?
Ooh,
Keep it real.
uh, I want
It's
to
like
say
one
a
of my
lion,
favorite questions.
lion because of the teeth and the claws, but then it's like, how does the lion penetrate the bear's thick skin without the bear latching onto him? You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't. Is there any YouTube videos of that?
I don't know, dude, but I would guess a bear because of just the weight, man. Like
Yeah.
that's it. Yeah.
But trip out on this. A hippopotamus can kill a lion.
I've actually heard that. I've never seen it, and so I'm
They're
not
they're
invested until I see it.
they're more deadlier than alligators in Africa.
I can,
Crazy.
they're just I think they're deceptively quick. I think they can move pretty good, like when they're not in water, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, I think it's their bite force for their jaw is greater than an
Yeah.
alligator,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
and then they're heavy, dude. They're like thick, like
Yeah.
just it's like an elephant in water. It's just this thick, heavy thing. You know
An
what I mean?
elephant in water. Word. One famous person, dead or alive, you'd love to have dinner with.
Oh man, Tupac.
Tupac. There you
It had
go.
to be Tupac.
Why? Why Tupac?
I think when my parents divorced when I was 12, I listened to a lot of his music. Uh, I got into poetry, I think, because I was listening to him, and then like that just opened up so many different avenues of creativity. So I think just to give him a thank you and to pick his brain, and
Yeah.
you know you'd always want to meet somebody that was being their real self. You know what I'm saying?
Word. Good point. Yeah, that'll be a dope dinner. Tupac. Nobody's
Yeah.
gave that answer. Early bird or a night owl? Which one are you?
I don't know, because I don't like being up late, but I don't like waking
Mhm.
up early. So I like getting enough sleep to where my body wakes itself up, and then just get the day done throughout the day, and you know
Yeah.
that's it. I don't know
Same.
what would that be called, a um
I don't know.
early
Most people are
bird.
usually one or the other. I'm definitely an early bird. I don't like staying up late.
I
Yeah.
think I'm both, but I would like to go to bed earlier to
Yeah,
to
me
wake up
too.
earlier. Like, okay, so I heard a man once say, if which there's a guy you got to kill. You either kill the night guy or the morning guy, depending on who you want to live the next day. So if you want to be an early guy, you got to kill the night guy. If you want to be the night guy, you got to kill the early guy.
That makes sense. It's interesting.
Yeah.
Your worst habit?
uh, I don't know if laziness is a thing, but
It's
just
definitely a
just like
thing.
just being lazy. You know what I mean? Like, you got to do this and this and this, but just wanting those days where I'm just Netflix and chilling with myself. You know what I'm
Dude,
saying?
everybody has those days.
But
Everybody.
not every day. I want them every day.
You want to? Okay, well, yeah, that's lazy. um, if you could have any superpower, what would it be and why?
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Love this question.
Dang. I don't know. I mean, of course, like physically, I would want to fly, just to like play around and go anywhere in the world quick. But I think uh, strategically, maybe be able to read minds and thoughts of a person.
Mm, one of those, huh?
Yeah.
A
That's why
creep.
I
No,
got,
just
yeah. No, so I could just go up to my boob, like, what's up, girl? Can I get your number? And just, oh, okay, never mind. I'm just kidding.
uh, dude, I think a dope superpower that no one's ever said on here, because I asked this is one of my favorite questions, is like having the ability to rewind or go back in time, like just like
Ah,
the last 5 minutes,
I wouldn't want the power. There'd be no way.
you know. But
I'll
then
be I'll be I'll be going back trying to correct everything.
I know. Well, for me, I'm thinking of it from the standpoint of I love good moments. Sometimes you don't realize that you're in the good old days until it's gone, and so just being able to
Oh man.
and relive a dope moment.
Yeah, that'd
All
be fun.
right, dogs or cats?
Dogs. Cats are
Hey,
demonic.
you said cats are demonic, dude. Don't let Clarissa hear that. Dude, she's actually turned me into a cat person.
Bro,
Hear me out though.
they're not even in the Bible, bro. I'm telling you, they're demonic, bro. They're like underworld type stuff.
Man, she turned me into a cat person, and it didn't even
Wow.
on time. She has two of them now. We have two of them now.
Wow.
It's crazy, man. If you're stranded, last question. If you were stranded on an island, which three items would you have to have on?
Mm, knife, paracord, and some kind of container. It's like a whole water.
You know, okay, that's
That's
thoughtful.
not a that's not a fair question for me because I did survival training for a while.
Did you
So
really?
yeah, so I know what I need. You know what I'm saying?
And
I
so
need
a knife for
string, a
sure.
container, and a knife for sure. You gotta have a knife.
A knife for sure. I like the jar question, although I don't. That'll probably be top five. I don't know if I'll take a jar for my top. If I only take three.
Yeah.
I feel like you
Well, you
can
want
make a
something
jar
that well, yeah.
because you can take like a coconut, for example, and cut open.
Yeah,
And that's your cut. That's your jar right there. So,
yeah. But if you're in the desert, you ain't got that option.
ooh, yeah, it's all bad. I hate the desert. It's all
I've
bad.
seen Bear Grylls cut a snake, eat it, and then use the skin as a like a little container. You tie a knot in the tail, and then fill the rest up with. Well, he filled his up with pee, but you could do water or whatever. You know what I mean? I'm telling you, there's some
man,
desperate survival tricks.
man, dude, I've heard of some stories, man. That stuff is just like freaking, yeah. Anyways, man, hey, I want to thank you so much for coming on and just blessing us with your story, your fitness story of how to just help people to just stay active, get active, keep being active, and yeah, dude, I appreciate it. Did you want to plug in your new barbershop in Bakersfield, California, if anyone's in the area?
Yeah, man. So I got a barbershop downtown Bakersfield. It's called the Bakersfield Barbers. You can find me on Instagram at the Bakersfield Barber. Um, other than that, man, that's it. I love you, man. Thanks for inviting me. It
Yeah.
was a lot of fun, bro.
And once again, he's single, ladies. We're now
Hey, for
single.
now, bro.
Yeah. Thanks for coming
I
on,
either
brother. Love, huh?
love. No, I love you too.